I'm here with Bernie Clark. Bernie Clark is a yoga teacher here in Vancouver. He is a proponent of Yin Yoga, and I'm here with him today at Semper Viva Yoga Studio to talk a little more about it. So Bernie, what is Yin Yoga?
Well, Todd, Yin Yoga is the other half.
Okay.
The other half of the yoga practice.
Okay.
Most of the yoga practice in the West I would call Yang Yoga. And Yin and Yang are relative terms. Nothing's absolutely Yin or absolutely Yang. Yin refers to things that are slower, deeper, denser, cooler. Yang is things that are hotter, higher, brighter, hotter. And that's like our muscles. Our Yang Yoga practice really targets the muscle layer, and it makes the muscles longer and stronger.
Okay.
And we need that.
Right.
But we also need to work the deeper tissues of the body, what we call the connective tissues, which are the deep fascial layers between the muscles, the ligaments, the joint capsules, even the bones themselves are targeted in this style of practice.
Okay, so what is the characteristic difference then between a Yin practice and a Yang practice, if we were to use those terms?
It's the way you do the practice. The intention is very different. In the Yin practice, we're trying to get past the muscles into the deeper connective tissues, but you have to do that in a safe way.
Right.
A lot of people freak out when they say, oh, I'm going to a yoga class where I'm going to exercise my joints. And physiotherapists and doctors say, no, don't exercise the joints. Because what they think of exercise is Yang,
Right.
which is rhythmic, repetitive movement.
Right.
And if you were to do rhythmic, repetitive movement to your ligaments over and over again, it'd be like taking a credit card and doing like this over
Right.
and over again, and eventually the credit card breaks.
Okay.
Which is great for a credit card, but bad for your ligaments.
Right.
So if that's what we meant by Yin exercise, I'd agree, don't do that. But Yin exercise applies attraction. We put a stress into the tissues and we let it soak for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We just marinate in that tension. And that's how we safely stimulate and stress these deeper tissues.
What are the benefits specifically from a Yin Yoga practice?
Well, again, you can look at it from a physiological point of view.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at it from an energetic point of view, from mental, emotional point of view. On the physical point of view, say you're interested in just thinking about your joints.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 4 big benefits you can get for your joints in Yin Yoga practice. One is finding something called contracture. As we get older, our joints tend to shrink wrap.
Right.
And we've all seen people, as we get older, we kind of curl up, we dry up,
Yep.
and we finally just blow away like a leaf in autumn that just crumbles in the dust. The tissues, there's cells in our body that actually take tissues away. They say, I'm not using this anymore, so I'm just going to recycle it and use it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So we eventually get shrink wrapped. Mm-hmm. And the way to counteract that is to mobilize the area. Now, if you just use your muscles to mobilize it, the muscles again are taking the stress. But if you just open the joint and stress it and leave it there, now you're starting to stimulate the chondrocytes and the fibroblasts. These are cells in the body that create collagen, which is what makes the ligaments, make
Right.
the joint capsules. So you can start to regrow and thicken the joints and the ligaments. So you fight contracture, this shrink wrapping.
Okay. In your practice and in teaching, what are some of the experiences you've had with people doing Yin Yoga and being able to turn around some of their health issues?
I've got very good feedback from people who had hip replacements.
Right.
And they had all sorts of mobility because the doctor cuts through all sorts of ligaments.
Yeah.
So now they're really open, but they need to lengthen and thicken up those ligaments.
Right.
And so by doing the Yin Yoga and stressing them, that really helped them recover. I've had people who had back issues and found that just doing this Yin Yoga for a couple of times a week really made big improvements there because the tissues just weren't strong enough to support them. Again, it's a credit card effect.
Yeah.
A lot of people have limber lower back, especially very flexible students. They overuse the lower back and they do the credit card effect to the lower back ligaments.
Right.
So now we come in, we just stay there. So we're not destabilizing like the credit card effect, but we're compressing those tissues to stimulate the fibroblasts in there to create more tissue.
Okay.
So they've had very good effects with it.
Well, Bernie, thank you very much for this. If people want to learn more about Yin Yoga and you, how could they learn more?
Probably the easiest way is to go to my website, which is yinyoga.com. And there they'll see my book, which is called Yin Sights. It's totally available in HTML, or you can download it in PDF, or you can buy the book. But there's about 400 pages of advice on why you do Yin Yoga from an energetic point of view, from a physical point of view, mental and emotional point of view, and how to do the practice.
So if you want to learn more about Bernie Clark and Yin Yoga, that's www.yinyoga.com. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
For more great videos and free information on natural health, log on to toddcaldecott.com.